everyone, it is time to do the second picture from this page from Magical Worlds by Johanna Basford with the 9 super cute snails. Now this one I'm excited by because we actually have the sort of swirly shell, for want of a better word, and I really enjoy colouring those, so that's going to be a fun thing for me to do and for me to show you, hopefully. I am going to do it in the old rose colour, at least to start with anyway. I rather like this colour. Where is it? I've lost it. That's good of me, isn't it? It must be there. There it is. Oh gosh. It's really short. It's a nice colour. So I'm going to do a base colour on the whole of the shell with this old rose. Now, you will need it sharp because we've got to get around all this little leafy detail and the floral detail as well. So there's quite a lot going on. But I rather like this colour. It's an interesting colour, I think. One of the more interesting colours in this set, to be honest. A sort of mix of brown and reddish pink in a pale grey formulation. It's really difficult to describe, and I think the fact that it's quite interesting and unique is great. Unfortunately, it is only available in the 120 set of Castle Arts Gold. It's not available in the 72 set. They don't do any smaller sets as far as I can remember. No. And so if you want it, you have to buy 120 pencils to get it. And you can see how short mine they happen to be. I don't know if you get this, but sometimes in a set of pencils you just get one pencil that seems to want to break all the time. That's this one. The best one. Do they do it on purpose? No, I'm sure they don't, and I'm sure a lot of people don't even like this colour. So anyway, it is a little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. Once it's used up, I'll have to just fall in love with a different colour, won't I? That's always my thought, really. Use the colours you like, because you might end up getting another pencil set and not using this one ever again. So enjoy it while you're using it, and if you use up your favourites, then you'll have to pick a new favourite, you know. Right, let's move our way around our shell. Now, there we go. And we have this bit. This bit is shell as well, I think. That bit. Now, it's not going to stay as plain as this, but this is just a sort of base coat, I would say. And then we can start adding some other layers. Right, there we go. I'm just going to put on my magnifying specs. My eyes have decided that they've had enough already, which is a little bit annoying, but hey ho, the specs will work. There we go. So what I need now is a darker colour to do the more shadowy parts of our shell, and I'm having a little look. Now, I rather like the sepia. I think I'm going to use that. I've not really tried this very much before, this sort of combo, but we'll see. So here it is, sepia. I'm going to sharpen it a bit. It's reasonably sharp. And what I want is to go along this line here and just gently scumble it outwards, just a little bit here, like this, because there would be some shadow here where this shell is all overlapping itself. Now we've got the floral design as well, which is getting in our way. That's okay, we'll worry about that later. Like that, and then a little bit here, and that's sort of it. However, we'd also want it to go around the edge as well, because these spirals will actually have a curve on this edge too. So we sort of do both edges with a darker bit. It's quite tricky because, as I said before, of all this floral design sort of almost getting in our way, to use our imagination a bit and think about what it would be like behind that pattern. Okay. And we sort of want to take it an even distance in as a percentage because each section isn't the same thickness. I'm just guessing away really and hoping it's going to work. And around we go. This has got a bit more brown in than our old rose, but I think it's fine. What I'm going to do now is go back to our old rose and sort of do some finishing off. So let's start in the middle here. We want it darker on the edge here. So I'm going to go over the top of that and then bring it slightly towards the middle. We want basically a lighter bit going all around the centre. So as you can see, I'm going over the sepia but also just gently extending that bit of colour a little bit. Now here we don't really have any space for any, so it's just a matter of burnishing this. But here we do. And bringing it down towards that centre a little bit more, so it can come out. Put a bit in there, a little bit in there. This is the fun bit, I think. You might find it a little bit complex, but hopefully if you follow my lead, it'll work out for you. There we go. I'm trying to also, while I'm doing this, although it's quite concentrated work, just have a little think about what colour to do my flowers. Really not that sure. Now this bit here, what I'm going to do is go back to my sepia, put a little bit of a shadowy line, quite an intense line, down there, like that, and then put a little bit bottom, a tiny bit top. And back to our old rose for the last time and just draw that colour up. So go over it and just bring it up a little bit higher so it looks like we've got a bit of shine near to the top. There we go. Now, flowers wise, just take off my spec so I can see my swatch chart. I'm looking at the brownish pinkish colour. We don't have a pink that's going to match, but we could try something like a spice red or a henna. We could go more for a scarlet red or a vermilion. Or even an orangey red. Maybe the red ochre. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab my red ochre for my florals. Obviously, where are we? Here. Red ochre. It's going to run away while I put my specs back on. We need to do the flower centres. We need leaves. There's a lot to go, but this is just, I'm going to start with this and see where we're going. So, as I said before, red ochre. Now these petals are tiny, so we're not going to do anything more than just blocking them in. Okay, now what we also have to remember is we do have some florals on the head, And are we going to do them the same colour? Well, we've got the time it takes to colour these petals. I sound like Bullseye. If you watch Bullseye, you'll know. You have the time it takes for the board to revolve to decide what to do. Oh, so many of you will have no clue what I'm talking about. It is a TV quiz show, and there was a sort of revival at Christmas. They did a Christmas special. I don't know if they're going to make more. It was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. What's odd is often, it used to be on Sunday nights, and I used to find it great fun. It's just a darts based quiz, and normally Sunday night programs that used to be on always make my stomach churn, because I'm always thinking I've got to go back to school the next day, and that's things like, for those of you of my generation, Open All Hours, Last of Summer Wine, Antiques Roadshow. Those programs are on a Sunday night. My stomach used to yeah. Even the ending music to Coronation Street does it, but for a different reason. That's because I know that it's late and I should be asleep. We're going to do these in this colour. Anyway, so yes, that was the quiz show, but it was fun. But it didn't give me that stomach churn. I don't know why. But oh, Catchphrase does as well. That's another Sunday night program. Yeah. Once I started work, I didn't used to get that so much. Now these flower centres, I don't really want to go with a bright yellow. I think it's going to be a little bit weird. It's going to just jump out too much. So I've decided to go for the yellow ochre. I don't know where it is. I think it's with the browns because it's more muted. And I think that will just sit back a little bit and not, you know, I don't want those centres to just jump off the page. So here it is, yellow ochre. But if you'd rather do a bright cadmium yellow or something, that's fine, but I'm just thinking I just want something a bit paler. Oh, I've broken the tip, look at that. There we go. It's a little pile of pencil crumbs, let's get rid of those. Now the same with the green really. I want an either more brown green or grey green. It's a little bit muted to do these. I'm wondering whether, yeah. Why not? So I'm just going to have a look. I'm wondering if the Terra Verde, but maybe the oxide of chrome. Yeah, oxide of chrome I'm going to grab. There we go. Here it is, oxide of chrome. And again, I'm just going to do them all. I could try and make them a bit lighter towards the tip, but I think that won't necessarily, might not work too much because they are so small. I am going to try it though, especially on these slightly larger ones. Yeah, there we go, that's sort of working. Now, as I'm doing this, I need to start thinking about what colour I'm going to actually colour the body of our snail. I've got a few ideas. I did think about the light sepia to start with, but that's a bit, sepia light, sorry, is what it's called. It's a little bit too pink, and we chose a more orangey red, so that's not going to work. So we could go with browns. I think some browns might work. Particularly sort of cinnamony colour might work. I don't want to go with greys. I don't think they're going to match it's a bit cold. There's probably some warmer greys. Yeah, the blue-grey is quite brown, which makes no sense, but it is. It's badly named, I think. Some pencils just are, though, aren't they? It's just the way it is, even in the very best sets. You're like, huh? But, it's fair enough. Right, so I could go for a darker brown, dark brown, but I think I might end up doing a sort of lighter brown and then maybe using some dark to add some shadows or just some darker patterns. Let's see where it takes us now. They got a necklace on. What are we going to do with that? Having a little think. Don't know if I want to introduce a new colour. Could use the red to make it like a red gemstone. That might be worth it. I'm just going to actually grab the red anyway. This is our red ochre. A few of my petals I've missed a bit. Just tidying. There we go. And I am going to do this in this colour. There we go. Oh, I haven't done the flowers on the head, the leaves on the head, sorry. So back to my oxide of chrome, just to block these in. They are very tiny. This snail's got their eyes shut. Did you know that some slugs have little houses on their back? It's quite a new bit of information that I found out. Now what am I going to do for this body? Cinnamon, I thought. I'll try it. Oh, put my specs back on. Specs off to look at the chart, back on to look at the paper. Right, cinnamon. It might be a little bit too close to the colour we've done for the rest, but I'm just going to fill it in on all of our body, and then I will grab some darker colours to put in some shadows anyway, and we'll just see how it all sits. Really, the good thing with doing a light layer like this is that you can colour over it, mix it with other colours, adapt it. It's not going to be a big problem if it doesn't quite sit right, which I think it will once we've put some other colours with it. Now it's tempting to grab the sepia, but it's going to then be very similar. So I think I'm going to go for the warm brown light. Oh, sorry, walnut brown light. Is that what it's called? Yeah, I'm just trying to find. There it is. This is a slightly reddish brown, and I think it will work well. It will darken up the edges. I'm going to go quite intensely on the edge and sort of scumble it in like that, but even on that top edge a little bit like that. And I think it would also be quite dark here. So we've ended up covering up most of the cinnamon there, but I think that's better. Although, does it? No, let's not even think of what that might look like. Don't even think about it. Yesterday I was watching a podcast. It wasn't a podcast. It was a TV program all about food and how it passes through the body. And I think that is what's made me think of what that looks like. Now you're all thinking it. I do apologise. I don't know what I can do to change how that looks. I don't think I can do anything. So around this edge, I'm going to put a bit of darker bit around the top there, so it looks a bit like there's some shadow, and then I'm just going to draw this colour in towards the middle so that hopefully our snail looks a little bit rounded. My specs are slipping off my nose. thought they're going to come crashing down onto the book then. That would have been... Problem is, you wear them over your regular specs, which is great, but it means that that they're not securely clamped on your face. I'm going to use the burnt umber to add some even darker shadow. Okay, so I'm thinking here, and just the lower part here maybe. I should go out the lines quite a lot, haven't I? I think I'll put a bit there, but actually, oops, underneath the headdress, I think we're okay. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to grab my white pen. We're going to put a little bit of white in places. So firstly, actually, let's just brush it off. There we go. So the necklace, I want to put some white, except it doesn't want to write. I think nearly all my white pens are nearly run out. That's better. Like that, a bit of shine. And then I'm going to put a little bit, make a centre like that, oops, in each of those flowers. And then these, I'm going to go around the centre. And a few dots and lighter dots in the middle. Now what I'm doing to make these bigger is going around and around, and these I'm just dotting on. So if you just dot on like that, you get a small one, but if you actually draw a circle, you get a bigger dot, and that's what I want, a mixture of different sizes. That. Dot, 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 dot. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, yeah, she's okay. There we go. Or he, she, I don't know. There we go. Anyway, that's our next snail done. Quite a muted colour palette really, apart from the red, which really jumps out, but it was an interesting experiment. Right, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and happy colouring.